Welcome back to French Action. A warm welcome if you are new to my channel. My name is Jenny. Our topic today, la famille. The family. Vous êtes prêts? C'est parti. Le père. Le père. Father. La mère. La mère. Mother. Le grand-père. Le grand-père. Grandfather. La grand-mère. La grand-mère. Grandmother. Le frère. Le frère. Brother. La sœur. La sœur. Sister. So the first child is l'aîné, and you need to put an extra E if the child is a female. L'aîné. Then you have le cadet, or la cadette if it's a female. Je répète, le cadet, la cadette. And that is your younger brother or younger sister. But if you have another brother or sister, the third one is going to be called le Benjamin or la Benjamine. And that will be really the youngest. So far, we have seen members of the family with le if the person is a male and la if the person is a female. So now we want to say my as opposed to the. We're going to say my father. So if you want to say my father, you're going to say mon père. You're going to use mon because père is masculine. And you're going to use ma because mother is feminine. Ma mère. Je répète, mon père. Ma mère. So each time you're going to use mon, it's going to be with a member of family who is a male. And for the ma, it's going to be for any family members who are females. And then when you want to use my as plural, you will have to use mes, which is M-E-S. And as you can see, the S is silent. Mes frères jumeaux. My twin brothers. Mes frères jumeaux. Here's a little exercise for you so that you can practice the mon or the ma. So I have found a family for you. 1 being the grandfather, 6 being the father. So you're going to say, here's my family, my grandfather. Then number 2 would be my grandmother. Number 3 would be my brother. Number 4, my sister. Number 5, my mother. And number 6, my father. Can you try that? Voici les réponses. Here are the answers. You could start by saying voici ma famille. Here's my family. Je répète, voici ma famille. And you remember that number 1 was the grandfather. Mon grand-père. Then number 2 was my grandmother. ma grand-mère, and we change from the mon to the ma because grand-mère is a female. Then we had the brother, mon frère. Then ma sœur, my sister. And then we had my mother, ma mère, and we finished with my father, mon père. Je répète, mon grand-père, ma grand-mère, mon frère, ma sœur, ma mère, mon père. So, to the question, combien de personnes y a-t-il dans ta famille? Combien de personnes y a-t-il dans ta famille? How many people are there in your family? You could just answer by saying il y a, and then you put the number. In this case, I would say il y a 5 personnes dans ma famille. Mon père, ma mère, mon frère, ma sœur et moi. There are 5 people in my family: my father, my mother, my brother, my sister, and I. You may want to talk about your extended family. You may want to talk about your uncle. So that will be mon oncle. Mon oncle. Have you noticed there's a little liaison between the N and the O so that it flows much better? Mon oncle. And then you have ma tante. Ma tante. The T is pronounced because of the final E. And then for cousins, you're going to have mon cousin. Mon cousin. And then be careful for the feminine. Ma cousine. So here, because of the final E, we have to have cousine. So it's cousine, and because the E at the end doesn't have an accent, so it's as if it was silent, we are still going to pronounce the N, but not the E. So that gives you ma cousine. How would you answer the question? Comment s'appelle ton père? What's your father's name? You would say, mon père s'appelle, and then you put his name. Here, in this case, is mon père s'appelle Paul. My father's name is Paul. Paul is introducing his family and he's saying, voici ma famille. Ma femme s'appelle Martine et mon fils s'appelle Karl. So femme is wife and fils is son. Be careful, there's an S. Normally the final S is silent in French, but not for the word son, because it's not an S for the plural, it's just the way the word is. Mon fils. And have you noticed that the L is silent? Mon fils. Now the wife is going to introduce her husband, so she's going to say, mon mari s'appelle Paul. Mon mari s'appelle Paul. My husband's name is Paul. How can you talk about your family? So I'm just going to give you an example using father and mother. So you could say something like, voici mon père. Here's my father. Il s'appelle, his name is, and then you put the name. Il a, plus the H, okay. Il est, plus the profession. And il est, plus the nationality. For the mother, it's going to be exactly the same. I'm just using c'est ma mère as opposed to voici mon père, just to give you another way of saying the same thing. You could also say voici ma mère or c'est ma mère. Elle s'appelle, elle a, and then the words for years at the end for the age. Elle est plus profession et elle est plus nationalité. Okay, so here I'm just showing you that when it's a male you have to say il, when it's a female you have to say elle. We're going to go through more vocabulary, starting with mon fils, which we know already, which is my son. But we didn't know that ma fille is my daughter. Ma fille. Mon fils, ma fille. And then you have petit-fils, which is grandson. Can you guess what it is for granddaughter? That's right, petite fille, granddaughter. I repeat, je répète, petite fille, petite fille. Now, this list is for those who want to know more about the family, and I try to do it in alphabetical order. So, for the letter A, we have arrière-grand-père or arrière-grand-mère, great-grandfather or great-grandmother. Arrière-grand-père, arrière-grand-mère. For letter B, we have beau-père or belle-mère. So beau-père, stepfather or father-in-law, and belle-mère, stepmother or mother-in-law. Remember, your in-laws are always beautiful because beau and belle means beautiful. C, we have cousin germain, full cousin or first cousin. Cousin germain. D, we have demi-frère or demi-sœur, demi spelled the same for brother and sister, when we mean half-brother or half-sister. E, époux, épouse. Époux, épouse, which means spouse. So be careful, époux has an X at the end, but it's silent. Whereas with épouse, we have an S between two vowels and it gives us a Z sound. Époux, épouse. F for filleul, and it's the same pronunciation for the feminine, godson or goddaughter. Filleul. G for gendre. Gendre, son-in-law. J, jumeau or jumelle. We had those words before. Jumeau, jumelle for twins. M for marraine, godmother. Marraine. N for neveu or nièce, for nephew or niece. Neveu, nièce. P for parrain, godfather. T for tuteur if it's a male, or tutrice if it's a female. Be careful, it's not a tutor, it's a legal guardian. Now, how would you translate a few words from the English point of view into French? Okay, so how would you say my younger brother? In this case, we're going to say mon petit frère, even though young, we know that young is the word jeune, but we're not going to say mon jeune frère. We're just going to say mon petit frère, my little brother. My older brother, we would say mon frère aîné, or mon grand frère. Relatives. Relatives is an interesting word because there isn't really a word for relatives in French. We can say parents, or if you have a sentence like I have relatives in Paris, you would just say j'ai de la famille à Paris. And the last word, siblings. Definitely no word for siblings in French. You would just say mes frères et sœurs for my siblings. And to finish, I just would like to give you several expressions with the word famille. Okay, la famille élargie, which is extended family. We have une famille monoparentale, a single parent family. Une famille d'accueil, a foster family. Une famille recomposée, a step family, or sometimes we call it a blended family. Well, we've come to the end of this video and I really hope that you enjoyed it. So don't forget to like it, share it, and of course to subscribe. And I would say thank you to all those who have subscribed. Au revoir!